Next, a couple who run a dance and fitness centre in Kidderminster say they're devastated after thieves broke in and stole thousands of pounds worth of equipment.
The studio that runs classes for children say they're frightened that the thieves will return and just want their equipment back so they can practice for competitions. Stacey Foster reports.
Dance is a passion for the young people and those who teach them at M&M Dance in Kidderminster. But last week, thieves decided to break in and make the task of running this business so much more difficult. They broke through metal bars, forced open locked doors and stole thousands of pounds worth of equipment.
Broke open into the studio and then all my equipment that's in here was taken. My CDs, my iPods, my second studio upstairs, also they took the sound system from up there and the iPods and the music from up there. They completely trashed my office, taking documents, and they even managed to take the children's sweets from out the kitchen. I haven't got any words, to be fair. All I'd say is these are children, this is their hobby. This is their passion. It keeps them off the streets, it keeps them healthy, they live and breathe it.
It's been running for 16 years, but last year Kerry Morris and her husband Jez turned a disused warehouse into a full studio and offices. Those who come to the classes say they're devastated.
Well, it was just a shock. I was one of the first parents here, and as we came in, the place was just ripped apart. Absolutely shocking. The kids were crying. The student teacher was crying, and it was just an awful thing to see.
It was really upsetting because it's like someone's invaded our personal space and we're like one big family, and it's like, and this is our home, like they've entered our home and they've wrecked it.
We weren't going to shop, we weren't going to let these people win, but yes, it's definitely affected business. And it's just a shame that there's people out there who want to destroy what's basically a kid's second home.
The young people who come here compete across the country, devoting a large amount of their summer holidays to something they love. They just want their equipment back so they can focus on the dancing and forget about those that tried to stop them. Stacey Foster, ITV News.
A health watchdog says GP services which aren't providing adequate care could be shut down. It plans to introduce school-style ratings of practices.
Well, the news comes on the day a survey of GPs for ITV's Tonight programme revealed 98% of them expect to see their budgets cut. As David Wood reports, many doctors are warning a crisis is looming.
Unanswered phones, long delays for appointments and clogged waiting rooms are becoming the routine in GPs' surgeries. The British Medical Association says thousands more doctors are needed to cope with demand, but at all costs. Holly Hardy runs one surgery, struggling to recruit.
We've had to cover the administrative and the clinical workload for 6,000 patients, and there's 2 of us working part-time. We've had the support of some fantastic short-term locums, so we've been working till midnight on the days we've been here, which is really not sustainable.
And the delays for appointments mean some patients are forced to head elsewhere.
I had a chest infection and I work in a school, so it's very difficult for me to... I don't want to be in the school in case I pass anything else on. I phoned for an appointment and I couldn't get one for over 3 weeks. I explained my situation and I was told I had to phone back the next day at 8 o'clock. I think I had to wait about 4 days.
I'll ring you later.
Yeah, OK.
The problems at the surgery mean the doctors are now quitting. And they're not the only ones struggling. According to research for the Tonight programme, nearly all doctors face or are anticipating budget cuts, while nearly 10% of surgeries have now closed to new patients and 7% have asked patients to leave.
This is a time bomb that will explode very soon. Young doctors are looking at general practice, they're looking at the huge workload that general practitioners have to cope with, and they're choosing to work in hospital instead, or in increasing numbers, choosing to go abroad.
The government says it plans to improve GP access, and in recognition of the pressures doctors are under, it has cut targets by more than 1/3 to free up time with patients, as well as increasing the number of GP trainees, while doctors hope it'll help relieve the pressure on them. David Wood, ITV News.
And there is more on that story coming up on the Tonight programme later on this evening here on ITV at 7:30.
A huge haul of potentially lethal cosmetics and electrical equipment has been seized during an operation by the National Trading Standards e-crime team. Officers intercepted 2 large shipments of illegal goods bound for the UK.
Well, the items, which came from China and the Far East, are often sold on internet auction sites and contain unknown ingredients that can cause devastating consequences. Julie Harrison has the story.
Each of these boxes packed into containers is filled with potentially harmful cosmetics and beauty equipment. This is just a fraction of the tens of thousands of items seized during an operation, which has prevented the illegal items from getting onto the UK market. Our laws prevent unlabelled cosmetics being sold here, not only because of safety issues, but also to allow people to avoid ingredients which may cause serious allergic reactions.
These products were imported from China quite cheaply, but were sold for quite expensive prices online. And people would probably think they were buying quite a high quality product when in fact it's a very, very cheap and nasty alternative to some of the genuine products that you would buy in the shops.
Many of the products here are very dangerous. This nail drying machine is substandard and could potentially catch fire.
These are downright dangerous. I mean, you see how easy it is to just break these.
There are lots of legitimate sellers of cosmetics online too, and it can be a challenge for buyers to distinguish between illegal and legal products.
Well, it can be quite difficult. The advent of online shopping sites, it is quite difficult to know whether or not the product you're buying is fit for purpose and can be sold legally in the UK. So we would always ask consumers to do research into the website that you're buying the product from, or if it's off an auction site, make sure you're looking at the feedback of the seller on that site. If there's any adverse feedback, then obviously you want to think twice about the products that you're buying from there.
A man has been cautioned in connection with the import of the products. These boxes will now be taken away and destroyed, saving anyone who may have bought them coming to any harm.
The national and international news is a few moments away, so let's take a quick look at what's coming up with Natasha Kaplinski.
Police investigating allegations of historic sex abuse search Sir Cliff Richard's home in Berkshire. The singer insists claims, which date back to the 1980s, are completely false. We'll have the latest. Also ahead, as his men continue to battle Islamic State fighters, Iraq's former foreign minister tells us Britain has a moral obligation to help. And delight for many, but a fall overall, as this year's A-level results throw up some surprises. Join Mark Austin in Erbil and me at 6:30.
Let's get some sport now. And Coventry City are out of the Capital One Cup after losing 2-1 to Cardiff. But the game itself was overshadowed by protests from both sides who feel they've been let down by the football authorities.
Coventry City are playing their home matches 35 miles away in Northampton. Fans chose the 35th minute of the game to voice their frustrations, as Joe Lobo reports.
The message is as clear as ever from the Coventry City fans of all ages. It's been more than a year since they were told they'd have to watch their home games in Northampton. This time, they found an unlikely ally in their opponents.
We feel we've been let down by everybody, the owners of the club, the City Council, most importantly the Football League and the football authorities in general, and the Cardiff fans are the same. We're now playing football 35 miles away from our home. They've had to change the colour of their strip. What we need is a change in the way football is run in this country. It should be run for the fans, not just for big business.
Club owners Sisu have indicated they want to hold talks to bring the club back. But Arena Coventry Limited, which runs the Ricoh Arena, won't sit down until legal action against them is dropped. At the heart of this tug of war are the fans, who dedicate their time and money to watch their beloved club.
Every time we play here, I'm on that hill. Most of my Saturday afternoons have been taken away by our owners. We've been put in a situation that we can't win, and I just want to get my football club back.
We all want to get back to Coventry, let's face it, but wherever the City play, I'm there. I'm not going to miss a game.
Coventry fans who refuse to pay to come in.
From the top of their hill, fans saw the news isn't great on the pitch either. Sean Miller's goal the only bright spot, as the supposed home side lost 2-1 to Cardiff. With Coventry City Chief Executive Tim Fisher watching, fans made their feelings clear in the 35th minute. Out of the Capital One Cup, more than 900 Coventry fans made the now familiar 35-mile journey back home. They believe they're no closer to bringing the club back with them. Joe Lobo, ITV News.